Greetings to one and everyone watching this video. This is Group 8 from IMI New Delhi. Today we'll be analyzing and discussing the Indian IT industry as part of our strategic management course. So moving on to the table of content, essentially this will be our progressive workflow towards a presentation. First we'll be starting with an executive summary, which will be an overview of Indian IT industry, followed by the past and present with the help of evolution. While we moving forward, we'll be doing a deep dive by evaluating the macro environmental factors that will help us with special analysis, followed by Porter's 5 Force to understand the competitive market space. Then we'll be looking into IT industry giants of India in the form of Infosys and TCS, followed by the future and observed trends in the IT industry. So, starting with a brief summary, the Indian IT industry has a large contribution to the economy of the country. It accounts for about 8% of India's GDP in the financial year of 2020. Strong growth opportunities. So the Indian IT industry's revenue is estimated to be about 194 billion US dollars in the financial year of 2021, which is about 2.3 year-on-year increase from previous year. Employment opportunities. As of financial year 2021, Indian IT industry employs about 4.5 million people. Also, the number of digitally skilled workers are expected to grow nine-folds by the year of 2025. Talking about the global share in export, India is expected to gain significant share in global market. With India's IT industry expected to increase 1.9% over last year, which will about to be 1.50 US billion dollars. Foreign investment. So the Indian industry accounts for about 44% of the foreign direct investment, which is the FDI inflow, which is said to be around $82 billion. Now, Utkarsh will take forward with the regards of evolution of IT industry.
Thank you, Tejas. Now I would be elaborating on the evolution of the Indian IT industry. So India's IT services industry was born in Mumbai in 1967 with the establishment of Tata Consultancy Services, who in 1977 partnered with Bureaus, which began India's export of IT services. Bangalore is a global technology hub and is India's biggest tech hub. The city is also known as the Silicon Valley of India. The development of the Indian software industry is an archetype of how economic liberalization combined with an entrepreneurial spirit can build an industry that today contributes as much as 8% of the GDP of a fast growing country like India. On the back of thousands of IT services companies that were built over the last 3 decades, the industry has generated around $177 billion in revenue and more than $135 billion in export in the financial year 2018. The IT industry has also created over 4 million direct jobs and 12 million indirect jobs in India. A testament to this growth is the fact that the largest Indian IT services company is currently valued at over $100 billion and generates over $20 billion in revenue. The exponential growth of the IT industry in India in the last 2 decades has changed the perception of the whole world about India's storehouse of knowledge and skills and powered economic growth. The swift advancement within the IT industry and liberalization policies, such as reducing trade barriers, eliminating import duties on technology products by Government of India, are instrumental in the evolution of this industry. Also, various other government initiatives like setting up software technology parks, export-oriented units, special economic zones, and FDI have helped the industry in attaining a leading position in the world IT industry. The IT industry's impact of India is profound. It is a positive contribute to India's revenue growth, talent capability, diversity in workforce, and its digital infrastructure. Now I would like Prithvi to take over.
Thank you, Utkarsh. Now we will look at the pestle analysis of the IT industry. Firstly, coming to the political aspects of the framework, we see that there is a very little influence of political situation on the industry, including change of the government. As we know, major revenue of the IT industry come from the foreign countries. Rules and regulations of different countries are hence to be considered. So changes in government policies in many countries, such as the United States, have an impact. There is also a positive effect due to the policies of the Indian government. Coming to the economic aspects of the industry, India with its low cost advantage and emergence of several private players represents an important market. Effect of fluctuations in the exchange rates also has an impact. The IT industry undertakes various measures like hedging exchange risk, using forward and future contracts. This helps them in mitigating some of the risks due to exchange rate fluctuations, but nonetheless, the impact is substantial. Coming to the social aspects of the industry, the factors range from employee rights, language barriers, race, nationality of a company, or other issues. Good quality of life is given to its employees compared to other sectors. This attracts employees to the IT industries. There is also a demographic advantage for the IT industry. Coming to the technological aspects, government IT spending on IT research in India is expected to see 11.4% growth to $7.3 billion in 2021. Government spending in India will return to growth in 2021 after declining 11% in 2020. New innovation and developments like big data, automation, and cloud computing can act as a growth drivers for the industry. Coming to the legal aspects of the industry, IT Act 2008, an act to provide legal recognition for the transactions carried out by the means of electronic data and interchange and other means of electronic communication, commonly referred to as electronic commerce, which involve the use of alternatives to paper-based methods of communication and storage of information. We can see that IT industry has been exempted from certain labor laws. Other than that, IPR, which is intellectual property rights, are also provided from foundation of software industries. Coming to the environmental aspects of the industry, firstly, if we talk about the e-waste piling up in landfills, upgrade and innovation in technology also leads to the increase in the e-waste. This causes many environmental problems. Other than that, carbon emissions and depletion of natural resources are the other problem that has an impact. Now Pooja will take over.
So I'll be explaining Porter's 5 forces analysis. Porter's 5 forces is a model that identifies and analyzes 5 competitive forces that shape every industry and helps determine an industry's weakness and strength. First one, power of customers. The bargaining power of customers is high. That is primarily because of the Indian IT service company that are capable of handling work of that nature and size. Thought that there are only a handful of them, the customers have sizable option to choose from as each company gets something different on the table. Second one, power of suppliers. The bargaining power of suppliers is very low, and since high standardization exists, there is a little scope for suppliers to having any clot. Third, threat of new entrants. In context of highly customized IT services, there is a little threat of new entrants. That said, the industry is also characterized by high people dependency and therefore can see veterans detached from existing companies to invest in new ventures. One of the major reasons being that deals that comes in a certain ticket size and not every company will be able to deal with a project at that scale. Moreover, there are about 4 to 5 players which have built the capability to deal with multi-million-dollar deals. Fourth, availability of substitutes. There are no substantial substitute to IT services apart from internal IT departments, which have lost clot over the years and are even thinner in numbers and significance. One argument for internal IT is retaining control over the pertinent aspects of business. But the argument against would, since the main business of the company is not IT service, it should outsource as much as possible and focus on future growth in core areas. Over the time, there has been a steady decrease in in-house IT development and maintenance, with more and more being outsourced, and internal IT staff has been settled into supervisory role. Fifth, competition in industry. The industry rivalry is a high force in Indian IT service industry landscape. As mentioned earlier, there are only a handful of large IT service companies, and there is rivalry between them in terms of deals they win, the market share they grab, the bottom line they are able to showcase. In the way, this high industry rivalry has also helped the Indian IT service to grow, as it has paid for innovation and each company came up with an innovative solution. Thank you. I would like Ashwini to continue now.
Thank you, Pooja. So now let's look at 2 of the biggest IT giants, that is Infosys and TCS. Looking at the competitive analysis of Infosys. Infosys' strategy of charging a premium for its service is putting a strain on its clients who are pressured to cut costs in the backdrop of a slowdown. Infosys has a revenue of over $13 billion with 8 to 9% year-on-year growth and stellar operating margin of 24.5%. Infosys has always focused on the high margin business, and that's why it has always concentrated on the business from developed markets such as North America and Europe, but it has ended up ignoring emerging markets like India, and its revenue percent from the domestic markets is among the lowest. Infosys also gets a higher share of revenues from consulting, which has helped it maintain its margins. Uh, Looking at the attrition rate, Infosys has a 20% attrition rate, which is among the highest as compared to peers. Employee cost as percent of revenue is 51.11% and highest among peers. Next slide, please. Looking at the SWOT analysis of Infosys, some of the strengths of Infosys are low expenditure for salaries, as most of its developing centers are established in India. Complete business solutions, as it provides end-to-end solutions. Strategic partnerships with very good companies. Good return on investment. Training program for employees, and the brand value that Infosys has. Looking at the weaknesses, it has a limited market, as it has always mainly focused on developed market and ignored the emerging market. Focusing on product segments and emerging markets are its weaknesses, and also the high attrition rate is among one of the main weaknesses of Infosys. Looking at the opportunities, acquisition of some new startups or some other companies can be seen as a good opportunity. Cloud computing solutions and focusing on emerging markets should be considered as opportunities by Infosys. Threats, looking at the threats, exponentially increasing competition, changes in US immigration laws, rising wages in India, and volatility in global market are some of the threats for Infosys. Now I would request Bharat to take over.
Thank you, Ashwini. The second company we are taking for analysis is TCS, which is the second largest company in India with respect to market capitalization and second largest IT company in world, again in the terms of market capitalization, with a revenue of over 23 billion in 2021 and humongous operating margin of 26.6%. TCS was founded in 1968 by Tata Sons, which still owns 70% of its share, with the objective to service their electronic data processing requirements, which later became IT services company. For TCS, revenue is generated from diversity of clients, which includes around 40% from banking and financial services, and around 15% is from communications and media, and 20% is contributed by retail and commercial business, while manufacturing clients provide 8% of the revenue. Now let's look at the performance drivers for the company. Company generate more than 90% revenue from its repeat business. It has also acquired 16 companies since 2012. TCS has managed to win more than 6 billion bids from including the contract from Royal Academy of Engineering of Spain and 2.5 billion deal from Transamerica and contract from Transport from London. Now let's move on to the SWOT analysis. For its strength part, it is known for its extensive global reach, as majority of its market is in North America, United Kingdom, and Africa and Europe. It also has diversity of customers, as we have already discussed in the last slide. It also has well-established strategic alliances, like it has the technology powerhouses like Amazon, Adobe, Dell, Bosch, HP, and others. And its weakness, it has found itself in legal squabbles in past few years. Like TCS was found guilty in 2006 and was charged with $940 billion in damages. It also has its product segment is also not relatively impressive. Now let's look into the opportunities for TCS. TCS is emerging interest in cloud computing. TCS is a robust cloud-based infrastructure and is thus prepared to capitalize on the created demand. It has bright possibilities for machine-to-machine solutions. It can also provide solutions for mobility, With the rising power mobile worker population and the increased usage of sophisticated mobile devices, enterprise mobility solutions are expected to be driven by business applications. As part of the threats, the competition is fierce in the IT industries like Infosys, Wipro, Capgemini, Deloitte, Accenture, or others big companies that can provide rivalry in this segment. Other threat is constraints on immigration. With immigration regulation and increasing H-1B visa fees, changing political situations in the US and Indian IT firms are anticipated to suffer as they increase their costs and damage profitability, posing a risk to the sector. Thank you. Now, I would like Tanmay to take over.
Thank you, Bharat. Now we shall look at the trends that have taken place in the Indian IT industry in the recent time. Firstly, new technologies such as cloud computing, social media, and data analytics are providing IT organizations with new growth opportunities across verticals. By 2020, the SMAC market, which stands for Social Mobility Analytics and Cloud, is anticipated to be worth $225 billion US. One such trend being big data analytics that has grown over the past few years, and that is something which is now being implemented in almost every kind of industry that makes use of large-scale production processes and manufacturing and supply. Next, we move on to the global delivery model. By 2025, the Indian software product sector is anticipated to be worth $100 billion. Indian enterprises are concentrating their efforts on overseas investments in order to grow their global presence and improve their global delivery centers. In accordance with this, TCS said in February 2021 that it would hire 1,500 technology employees in the UK over the next year. Moving on to the third point, large firms with a diverse set of competencies are gaining traction as they transition from simple maintenance providers to full service providers with infrastructure, system integration, and consulting capabilities. Around 80% of the total revenue is generated by 200 large and medium players. Also, recently, the Indian IT players have focused on expansion. Over the next 7 years, for instance, TCS plans to invest more than $100 million US in its Austin branch. Fourthly, data annotation and labeling hub. India is set to become the data annotation and labeling hub as the data annotation market in India stood at $250 million US in financial year 2020, of which the US market contributed close to 60% to the overall value. This market is expected to reach $7 billion US by 2030 due to accelerated domestic demand for artificial intelligence. Cloud computing, one of the biggest trends that have emerged during the past year is that of cloud computing. It is the go-to solution for brands who want to improve their work and make it more efficient in a digital space. So as to get a competitive advantage over other industry participants, key players are focusing on differentiated cloud products and platforms. Out of the many, these were few of the notable trends in this space that were worth mentioning. And with this, we have come to the end of our presentation. Thank you for your patience.